I just came across a post now that actually inspired this vlog. It goes as follows: the worst managers teach you the best lessons. So I'll go through some of my lessons that I learned from those that I considered to be the worst managers. They might not have been the worst managers, but I consider them to be the worst. Okay, so the first one is not to expect someone to do what you would have done if you're in their shoes, or don't expect somebody to do something the way you would have done it if you were them, so this sometimes leads to micromanagement. I'll make an example. I remember when I was doing increase letters and this person was standing behind me. I hope they don't watch this video. And this person was standing behind me, and then they were saying, the way that you're doing these letters makes me nervous. I get nervous that you're gonna give Samson Solomon's letter, and you're gonna give Elijah Elisha's letter. And I had to reassure the person that, look, Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so, I've been doing this for X amount of years, and never, even in a blue moon, have I given anybody's letter that does not belong to them, So, but maybe it might sound like I'm contradicting myself, because now I'm expecting them to do what I would have done if I were them. Because if I were them, I would have let Phumzile do the letters and then have my own checks and balances in place when I sign the letters. So that is the first lesson that I'm gonna touch on. Don't expect people to do things the way you would have done them if you were them. If you're gonna be like that, or if you want that, then rather have clear policies and procedures in place, or standard operating procedures, that if you do a letter, this is what you do, this is what you save, this is what you do, this is what you don't do. Okay. And then another one, or actually let me not go through them in any particular order. Another one that I learned early on in my career, it was a black guy, and there was a lady that we were working with, and I always thought that this lady has a lot of work, but I couldn't understand why, because all of us were supposed to be associates. And then this guy, because we did not get along, we were always bumping heads, and he was the owner of that organization. And then he said to me, always look busy. Always look busy. Image is everything. Okay. Another one that I learned, there was somebody that used to have 1,000 emails that were unread, and it looked like her day was just something else. And then from her, I learned that, like, when I start my day, unless I have to start maybe with training or something like that, but if I have to start my day and I start the admin, I make sure that I clear out all the messages that I've received in my email. I make sure that I reply to everyone else, and then when it comes to papers, I make sure that as they come in, I read them and I sign them, that I don't bank them, because she used to have a pile and a pile and a pile and a pile of unsigned status changes and employment contracts, and it just became chaos. And then another one that I learned as well, that the people that we are trying to impress, usually they are in direct competition with us, So I spent years, if not months, if not days, trying to impress sometimes people that I was reporting to, and the more I tried, the more they shut down my expectation of receiving praise or receiving compliment, until suddenly I received this aha moment that, Phumzile, the people that you're trying to impress, even if they are impressed, they're not going to show you that they're impressed. They might even attempt to break you down further, to destroy your confidence further, because they are in direct competition, whether you like it or not. So what you need to do is that you need to do your work in a sense, or in a way that makes you proud of the way that you have done your work. You need to be the one that is actually patting yourself on the back. I'll make an example. So there was this other time when we had what I considered one of the most complicated payrolls that I've come across in my life. Like, we had every scenario that you can think of, and I thought, sure, everything ran smoothly considering all the different scenarios that we faced within this payroll. And then I said, we actually did very well with this payroll. And the person said, let's wait and see. Let's give it another week to see if there'll come any queries. Lo and behold, the rest is history. Yeah, but that's what actually I've learned. So tell me, what do you have learned from your worst managers?